I don't mind the opening credits, but most movies from this era at least ran the credits over footage of something interesting for me to look at, like skylines, traffic jams, or cornfields. 90s fashion.
I haven't finished cooking your dinner.
Yeah, it's a surprise. It's all right.
How does it being a surprise make it okay for her to leave dinner unattended? That jacket is at least 3 sizes too big for him. Those pants don't fit either. That salesman saw him coming a mile away.
You ready? We're going for a ride.
Oh, no, I have to finish dinner.
One ride.
Endangering your own mother after goading her into a dangerous activity. I haven't seen this kind of subconscious near matricide since George Costanza's mother caught him, you know.
This is fun, right?
It actually looks terrifying. Littering. Jesus Christ! Yeah, the one guy was drinking and making out while driving, but Pitt should have been able to easily avoid this collision if he was even paying a little attention. You think this is bad? Just wait till you hear about how dinner turned out. See, if you'd given her a helmet, she might still be breathing right now. All right, fellas, let's cover that body up with a cheap blanket from the motel, lift it both ends so it makes an obvious V, and then let's place it on the stretcher. I believe that will approximate the behavior of real medical professionals.
Well, it works.
What the f***? I don't care if I knew going in that this film mixed live action and animation. You introduce that concept in the film smoothly if you want folks to buy it. This is like Max Headroom commercials cutting into a show. Only instead of going back to the show, the rest of the hour is just Max Headroom. Yes, they made a Max Headroom show eventually, but that's not the Max Headroom I'm talking about, and god damn it, I hate time! No.
My Spike was supposed to send me to your world, but instead, you're here.
If you were a cartoon, how the f*** do you even know about a non-cartoon world?
You see, you're in a real place called the cool world.
People in a real place don't need to tell other people that they are in a real place. But also, roll credits.
The possibility of interworld travel has been an obsession of mine for many, many years.
This movie suggests that cartoons are not only self-aware, but actively questioning where they came from and trying to go there. And that is way more existential than I think any of us were expecting.
They call me Doc Whiskers.
He says this instead of anything constructive. This guy is in prison, but appears to have all the tools necessary to draw fine art in his cell. And that really undermines what a prison is about, which is breaking people down and making them career criminals so they keep feeding into the system.
It's time you came to me, Jack.
Dude's drawing cartoon porn in prison. I'd wager he's already done that several times. He survives this. Jesus, hell ass f***. The difference between this and something like Heavy Metal is the judgment of the Film Ratings Board and Brad Pitt, but the number of folks f***ing off to each is pretty equal. Easy there, Jack. She may be a cartoon, but rules of consent still apply.
He's going soft for that tomato.
This movie totally ripped off Lock, Shock, and Barrel from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, a bunch of wooden nickels. Don't spend them all in one place.
And then the nickels turn out to be alive and very bitey, and what the f*** am I watching? It's like the animators all dropped acid for 6 months and the editors somehow turned it into something storyish. This is like Fantasia's inbred cousin that wants to f*** all the furniture.
Vegas Vinny is a fairy tale.
Assuming anything is a fairy tale when you literally live in a world of cartoons.
You could help me.
The f*** was that ghost dog face thing?
And when they do it with a man, oh, they really do it.
I always knew cartoons wanted me as much as I wanted them, and now I have proof. This guy was somehow close friends with every single other prisoner on his row.
My God, it's you, isn't it?
This movie trope of ordinary people recognizing authors is total bullshit. Nobody knows what comic book authors look like, unless you follow Gail, and even then you know she looks like a bear. This comic shop's entire back wall is devoted to the comic this guy created. Like Batman doesn't even exist and shit.
Why don't you do a book on that guy you murdered? You know, that guy you found in bed with your wife.
Now that's how you do exposition.
It's on now.
Giving a convicted murderer free comics. So the rabbit rolls 2 2s, but then his opponent removes a dot from each die, which is not easy to do with sharp fingernails and also is cheating. But I'm more concerned with how in the next side shot the dice are both showing 3. How does Jack keep surviving these falls into Cool World? Oh, sure, but when I go up someone's pant leg and shirt and kiss them without permission, I get in trouble.
Now be nice.
Cool World must be a really small place.
Maybe I can erase you.
Casually threatening to murder a woman you just met.
What'd you do that for?
I'm gonna guess because you threatened to murder her like 60 seconds ago? Modeling your cartoon police department after the NYPD. The people who made this movie looked in the mirror and told themselves they were making a cartoon for adults. But in their heart of hearts, they always knew they were just making gross trash. This is some Meet the Feeble shit here. Why is this car real and not a cartoon? If you take out all these vignettes between scenes, the movie would only be 26 minutes long.
No noise.
This movie makes it seem like humans visiting Cartoon Land is really rare, but then they also have Toonland have rules like no humans allowed in this nightclub. That's upsetting to me.
I'm not one of your creations.
Oh, you're not pretty enough.
Looking at Brad Pitt and determining in any universe that he's not pretty enough. Gay or straight, Brad Pitt is a fucking snack. I'm getting really fucking tired of these passing through floating ghost heads.
Noids do not have sex with doodles.
Again, exactly how common is it for humans to be down here? Because we've only seen 2 this entire movie so far. This place is super fucking serious about this no sex rule between humans and toons.
Truth is, she's been after me and every other Noid who's come through here.
Let's see more about the other Noids who have come through here.
You did well, Jack.
Does she ever stop dancing? Damn, they could at least return him to the same spot they took him from. Drawing tables aren't cheap.
Oh, honey, you're tense.
He knows his Noid ass can't have sex with a doodle, but he still has a doodle girlfriend that calls him honey and that he seems to share an apartment with part-time.
Because we can never finish it on that, you know?
He's talking about sex, but the relationship has already been started, dude. And that is a problem if you absolutely can't ever have sex because a toon girl's got needs. At least that's what Jessica Rabbit said to me to explain her cheating on me.
Hey, boy! Yeah. Ooh.
Is there any good reason to walk in on your boss and his girlfriend without at least knocking first? All right, I do appreciate the running gag of the random falling anvils. I'm not going to remove a sin, mostly because of the diaper creature peeing on the cop scene. What kind of psycho puts their bed in the very center of the room? Looks like Jack went to the little-known just scream and put your arms over your face school of not running away from things. Driving, racing, motoring, excitement? The door won't let them in, so Frank decides to rope wall climb behind a cartoon that is free climbing a spiral skyscraper while smoking a cigar and wearing gloves?
God, I hate heights.
Why? We've already seen you and the other guy fall thousands of feet into this place and suffer no injury. And if you hate heights, why didn't you just break a window on the first floor to get into the building instead of this insane shit? I suppose the intent in the animation of the street traffic here is to make the cars look like bugs, maybe? But the truth is that all these doodles in these cars are driving like goddamn maniacs. I don't know what just happened, but I'm pretty sure it was racist.
I've discovered that if you look for trouble, you find it.
This is almost as profound a philosophical realization as wherever you go, there you are. Almost. Earlier, Holly was dying to go to the human world so she could truly feel sex. So, did the doodles not feel anything? Did dude feel any pain just now when Frank slapped him across the room? Because why do it if it's not going to hurt?
Be content with the cards you've been dealt.
That sounds like the capitalism motto.
It's getting serious, Nails.
Is this all Frank does? His only job as a cop? He monitors doodles to make sure they're not having sex with people from our world? Because unless humans come to Cool World often, this seems like a pretty useless profession.
I've been waiting for you.
Subtlety, thy name is Hollywood.
Can't go any further than this, Holly.
I said these exact words to my college girlfriend and she stopped seducing me. A month later, she seduced my roommate. A sin for her and one for the roommate. The movie spends a lot of time on these pervert doodles trying to build a tower of stacked garbage all the way to the top floor just so they can watch Holly have sex with Jack. Animated skip. Wow, this sex scene is still going after a full minute? Jack must be a god. I should probably be taking notes.
Was it good for you?
Were you guys all watching? Or just listening? Either way, it's pretty Where the did that nightgown come from? Robot arms in the ceiling?
I could put overtime in on Deep's post. I'm tireless.
Forget it. The goons can't touch him in Sweet Place.
I have watched this entire ass movie and I have no idea what this exchange means whatsoever.
Just don't make a move without me, you got it?
I got it, boss.
I'll just drive off in your real human car after you get out of it and I am still a cartoon. See ya, boss! I feel like 90% of this movie takes place in dance clubs. Is that all Cool World is? Are there no aquariums? No amusement parks? No libraries? Or did the animators just not want to draw any of those things? How come people don't shout, "Noid Cop!" every time Frank enters a room?
Even a doodle's gotta eat.
Really? That defies all logic and physics. The idea of a phone being terrified of its own ring is actually hilarious and belongs in a better film, hence the sin. This joke is slumming.
You are a biomorphic menace.
She is, but more importantly, I'm stealing that line, you biomorphic menace.
I'm leaving, pencil. You just try and stop.
Can he stop her? I don't think he can. How does a single pen have room enough inside to suck in a whole fucking nails? Also, murder. This movie has a lot more weird science than I think it wants to admit.
I really like it here.
You've been here 20 seconds. How is there a chalk line of the body if Nail's entire self was absorbed into the pen? Isn't the whole point of the chalk line to outline a body? But there never was a body here. After being bounced from the club for no good reason, Jack uses heretofore unknown electricity stun gun powers to knock back the bouncer. And I would ask a lot of questions here, except it would only make this movie take longer. So I'm going to shut my mouth and add 5 cents.
Hit it.
Holly says, hit it, without specifying a song to play, and the band will just automatically start something she just happens to know the lyrics to. Love, you didn't do right by me.
It hurts over there. It's lonely over there.
Right, whereas here in Toonland, you can have a celibate relationship with a cartoon, and that's not remotely lonely or hurtful. I'm being sarcastic and saying he's a hypocrite liar.
They got 8 million ways for you to die, hon, and all of them are permanent.
He's grossly exaggerating the number of ways there are to die in the real world. Basically 3. Accidental food poisoning, intentional food poisoning, and driving on an American interstate highway. Oh no, they're glitching! Someone call Wreck-It Ralph! But also, when she turns into a toon, why doesn't she look like Holly did as a toon? He's still thinking about that? That was 40 years ago. Moms die, kid. No need to be a pussy about it. Wait, did he have to re-experience that memory in order to jump back to the real world? Also, no. Again.
There's gotta be a spike of power. And I'm gonna find it right now.
From the passenger seat of this moving car.
You're a nice fellow, Jack.
Is he? The murder conviction and past hour of this film seem to counter your claim there, Holly. Why did Frank teleport to Jack's house? Shouldn't he be back out in the desert where he left the real world behind? Every time we've seen Jack re-enter the real world, it's at the same point he left it. I need to know the rules.
You know Vegas Vinny?
He's walking around a single casino asking everyone if they know Vegas Vinny, and how much do you want to bet this is going to work?
Vegas Vinny is a story based on a real guy. This doc I met when I first went across 50 years ago.
That's right, it's been 50 years since Frank has been to Vegas. Shouldn't we have gotten a scene of him being shocked at how the city has changed in half a century? It, I'm expecting too much from a horny cartoon movie.
He and I, we mapped out the tunnel, the passageway between both worlds.
Film accidentally gives us the pitch for a movie that would have been much more interesting than this one.
You do know what I am, don't you?
He literally never said he didn't.
In Cool World, they knew me as Whiskers.
Well, in Cool World, you had a nickname. Not that Vegas Vinny is much better.
And it's gonna make me real.
You were already real. Why did the pen suck up nails but pop Whiskers like a balloon? Does it have multiple settings? I need rules for this world. I'm not trying to be sexist, but the fact is a female running up a dozen flight of stairs in heels would easily be caught up to by a pursuing male.
Don't piss me off, Wood!
Honestly, all due respect, how are you not already pissed off? Jack is now Mr. Fantastic or Plastic Man suddenly. And this movie could have spent a lot less time on pervy, unnecessary between-scene animations and more time on explaining I guess the Toon World has long been held in check by this Grinch torso light plug, which, fine, but why are the Toons first racing through this new portal all ghosts and demons and devils and shit? Jack turns into Shazam. Holly kicks him in the nuts, then Oogie Boogie shows up and grabs Holly, and now she's flying through the air like she's on a broom in a Harry Potter movie. What the f***? Not even the swell dogs playing poker gag can earn a sin-off from me. That's how angry I am at the diaper creature pees on the cop scene. The soldier is leaning on his dog via anal gun. The finale is so compelling they had to animate it against a series of abstract backgrounds. With a month to go before release, the producers told the animators to just draw whatever freaky shit they could think of. After all the Toons are sucked into the thing the spike was jammed into, a giant cork followed, and where did the goddamn cork come from?
Was she a doodle when she aced him?
Yeah, so what?
So what?
Turns out if a Noid from the Cool World is killed in the real world and yada yada yada, you saw this coming even though Frank was kind of an asshole the whole movie and yada yada yada. I'm really tired of it.
Oh, you're a hero, Harris.
He is not. Jack is the one who returned the spike. All Frank did was fail to stop Holly from reaching it in the first place.
Where's my dinner?
Vegas Vinny is a fairy tale, Wood.
Do you believe in fairy tales?
Give me one drink now, and I'll tell you anything you want to know.
Pop up now. Stop. Get down. Get down there.
You see, you're in a real place called the Cool World.
How do you do, fellow kids?
Sum of the square roots of any two sides of an isosceles.
Yeah, I remember that, officer.
Hand me the keys, you f***ing cocksucker.
Disturbs my slumber.
Okay, buy a lot of stuff, you're a good citizen. But if you don't buy a lot of stuff, if you don't, what are you then, I ask you? What?